race and based on the names, because some of the names they were highlighted. So in my conclusion, ntabwo nabashije kwitindaho cyane, twagize akarengane bakurikije nuko iyo ugira ngo ntibambajije several times cyangwa ambaza buri kenshi ngo mbese uva hehe, kwari ugufata icyangombwa cyanjye ngiki ibisabwa nayo mbifite byose nta kindi na ngombwa kubazwa, ariko naratangaye kuguma bambaza uva hehe uvuga indimi byose basanga bankoresha interview. Aho niho naze kubitahurira this is not right. Ibi kuko abandi bose bari kwinjira tibari kubabaza uva hehe ni ugutanga ibisabwa gusa bakinjira. Njyewe ntabwo nagize amahirwe yo kugira ngo babimbaze mbitange bavuga ngo simbyujuje, nari mbyujuje, ahubwo njyewe ntabwo nasobanukiwe impamvu nanze kwinjira. Ubwo nibwo nahise nyuma at the end bamaze kuvuga ngo no more, nta bandi bagomba kwinjira, kandi natwe nubwo we batutse zinga ikibazo cyacu baza kugisobanura kugikemura bwa nyuma ntacyo bakemuye, baturekeye hanze bafunga inzugi. Ku by'amahirwe wire nshuti yagumye muri hallway, hari abandi binjiraga nabo bashaka kwinjira. I think yango we simbizi kuko byagenze, gusa nuko nabonye nawe mu kanya gato mbone bamuzanye bamusohoye bamusunika. It was a big, the whole group twese tuba surprised. So in my conclusion navuga yuko it was direct discriminating based on race and our names. niko nabivuga. Murakoze cyane.
Thank you so much. Urakoze cyane. So I guess I'll return the mic to Willie, activist. Willie, I guess Isoko has already asked you a question. I don't know if you already pulled over, then you can have the mic and then tell the people what happened to you. On top of that, right after you finish, we'll go back to Gershom. There's one question that the people asked, so remain there. And then, turaza guhita dufungura na audience pour les gens qui veulent demander des questions. Voilà, Willy, le micro vous appartient maintenant. Merci.
Merci beaucoup. I just want to say that this is a great opportunity to share our testimony regarding what happened in New York City. A situation, a scene that was very horrible. That I was not taken by surprise, but it was so horrible that I wasn't even really expecting such a dramatization of the situation. The way I saw it was really transcending my mind and transcending everybody else's mind. And I do believe that everybody who really was at the scene, if he was not driven by the discrimination, everybody could have been really so much astonished at what was happening to us. I arrived in Washington, D.C. A little bit late. But when I arrived, I found my fellow attendees standing in a very long line. I also joined the line like everybody else. There was a woman there who was doing approval verification. Each person would show her the approval email, and she would check if the information matched what she had on her side. Eventually, when my brother, President Doug, got to her, they told him that although they could see he was on the list, his name required him to go to the litigation side. I was surprised, but I couldn't actually say anything. I couldn't comment anything because I was online. I was basically thinking that I'm going to also be pushed back. But his name really made him to go to the the litigation side. Somebody was there to cross and to double check. Next in line I saw was Vice President of ISO Costa Rica Ganeza, whose name also was questioned, and he was sent to the litigation side as well. When it was my turn, brothers and sisters, the lady asked me for my approval email. I showed it to her, and she said to me, "You got a light." Deep within my heart, I was like, okay, this is really a miracle from the Lord, because my name was enough to be discriminated against, just like anybody else. And I entered, I continued moving forward, but people I didn't even know started blocking me, saying that I shouldn't go further. When I asked them why, they said they needed to recheck if I was really on the list. The woman who had verified my approval email saw me still standing there and came back to tell me, why are you standing here? I'm blocked. And he turned to somebody who blocked me and said, this one is approved. There is no issue at all. And I tried to go again, but they me once more. I approached the woman again, and she came back and told me let him go. She come back and told the team, and she heard them really let me go, and she was even astonished as well. She told them, if my verification process is not sufficient, you have to tell me, because I gave this guy a green light to enter, but you still wondering whether he has or not to go. And I was like, okay, maybe this time around I'm gonna be let it go. Um, they eventually let me pass. I entered the conference room and sat down. After only a few minutes, about 4 minutes, 5 minutes, a very allow me to say this because I did not know this man who came to me probably came to me rushing at me and asked me, how did you get in here? I told him I entered through the official process. Harshly told me, get out. I responded, I won't leave unless you also remove all other Congolese people right here, because I am not different from any other Congolese. When I saw that he was, trying to insist aggressively, I stood up and went back a little bit, stood up. He tried to grab me and I pushed him away. But all of a sudden, a crowd immediately formed around me. And this was my very first experience, seriously. I had never seen this before, seeing people really forming themselves around me and, trying to mock at me. This is something that was really very horrible, and it was heartbreaking. And people started saying I should leave. But all of a sudden, I hear this voice behind my back saying that besides, he even looks like Makenga. I was like, wait a minute. I lost my patience immediately, and I told him, so just because of that facial phenotype, I am not allowed to be a Congolese, just like you guys. There was a chaos trying to push me out. And I told him, let me go on my own if you want me to go out, hoping they would let me go by my own. But instead, that same group followed me. They try to really do all the maneuvers for me to appear like a stranger or a threat. But I had to really keep them from getting this access. I was like, okay, do not have access to me because I have the right to go out by my own. You don't have to follow me because I came here officially. I came here as a Congolese. I came here to attend a conference that was open to everyone. You do not have to follow me. If you don't want me to attend, let me go. If my facial phenotype is all you are looking at, then let me go. They followed me anyways. We went downstairs. The lady that gave me a green light saw me coming back. She was in the room. When she wanted to ask them, they really kind of pretended as if they don't want to really, hear her voice and everything. She wanted to be advocating for me, and I kept arguing with them. Like I turned to the guy who really voiced out of my back that I look like Makenga. I was like, oh, his argument, his low, cheap argument, is the fact that I look like Makenga, and the security guards, seeing that the chaos was going to be very intense, they opened the door. I had to get out. There's the video you saw. I was kind of arguing. I was actually, defending the fact that my phenotype was not enough to really expel me from the conference. And I got out of the conference like that. That was really the scenario. And, immediately I was given the interview. I had to tell the truth of what happened within the room. And, but what shocked me even more is the fact that, people around, other Congolese around, were actually very happy about what was happening to us. President Douglas was also very shocked at, the fact that the fellow Congolese could not even be compassionate over, their fellow Congolese who are being discriminated against like that. So this is what happened. It was my very first experience ever. I had never been expelled from a conference like that. And, I learned even more that the discrimination against the Tutsi, the Bahema, the Banyenge, is getting rampant. A discrimination that started way before I was born, is still actually growing even exponentially. It's growing even worse and worse and worse. But if it is worsening, it is high time we understood that Congolese have to come together and unite and make sure they basically fight the discrimination and every type of looking at your brother, your sister as somebody else just because of their facial phenotype. That's because of their morphology. That's because of their names and the language they speak. So, my brother, this is what happened to me. And I want to thank you so much for this opportunity to share.
Thank you, Willie. The specific question that we'd like to know, some participants mentioned that their names were
Hello? Hello? Hello?
were highlighted or appeared in yellow or were flagged in some ways. Can you confirm if that was the case for you as well?
No, I believe my name was not highlighted in yellow because all I saw, Douglas' name was highlighted in yellow. I saw it with my two eyes, not somebody else's eyes. I saw it. Kagiraneza Safari was highlighted as well in yellow. But my name, I guess because of the spelling, this is what I suppose. I'm not quite sure why they did not highlight my name. But hoping that since my name is really escaping from, stereotypes like that, I was like, now this is a high opportunity for me to get in a room and express my concern. But nevertheless, if you Hello? Nevertheless, if you escaped from the style of your name, you're not going to escape from the facial phenotype that you have. So my name was not, I was given a green light, meaning since the lady was telling Douglas and Kagiraneza that their names are really questionable, then that means mine was excluded from that stereotyping like that. But my name was really good. My name was good. I guess it was simply because of the spelling of my name that confused, that confused them somehow.
Thank you, Willie. Thank you, Willie Shuti. Stay with us. I think some questions will be addressed to you. I believe the next eyewitness is Safari Kagiraneza. Before we ask him a question, let's give a few minutes to Safari Munyarugendo for maybe to summarize in French, because a lot of people that are French speaking that are not keeping up with us in English, especially those that are in the Congo or from the Congo. Safari.
Yeah, just 3 to 5 minutes so that we can keep on. We have a lot of questions that are coming, so we need the Safari Munyarugendo to do as a little bit of summary, and then we can move on. Thank you, Papa Safari. Le micro est à vous.
Merci beaucoup. Merci à tous nos compatriotes qui se sont sacrifiés et malheureusement qui n'ont été à qui on a dénié le droit d'aller dire le génocide dont il était question, c'est nous, les victimes, nous, ceux-là qu'ils veulent présenter. Donc, en bref, je crois que s'ils n'arrivent pas à distinguer et qu'ils prennent ceux-là qui condamnent, qui appellent à une des tribus congolaises, des cafards, c'est ça le génocide. Et ici, devant moi, à tous nos compatriotes, ceux-là qui peuvent l'envie de nier l'existence d'un génocide.
Didi, est-ce que vous l'entendez?
Non, je n'entends plus Safari.
Peut-être qu'il reçoit un appel.
Probablement, fort probablement, oui.
Ok, je vous rappelle que nous avons quelques minutes qui nous restent pour qu'on finisse notre espèce. Et puis, on va ouvrir l'espèce pour l'audience. Et l'audience va poser des questions. Les questions seront adressées à Douglas Kabunda, Safari Munyarugendo, et peut-être les témoins Gershom et activistes. Et il y a une autre question qu'on a posée, qui a été adressée à Monsieur Gershom. Gershom, après avoir intervenu dans la salle, est-ce qu'il y a-t-il d'autres nationaux qui vous ont peut-être approché pour quand même savoir ou bien comprendre l'autre version de l'histoire? Et c'est une question qu'on m'a envoyée dans le DM. Je ne sais pas si vous avez une réponse à ça. Gershom, vous m'entendez?
Avant que je réponde, est-ce que vous m'entendez là? Ça passe bien?
Oui, ça va.
Alors, avant que je réponde, je voulais faire un petit commentaire sur la déclaration de Willy. Willy Shuti, ça ne sent pas le Kinyarwanda. Moi-même, ce nom-là, quand je l'avais écouté pour la première fois, je n'avais aucune idée. Je ne pouvais pas imaginer que c'est un rwandophone. C'est ce qui a fait que son nom n'était pas highlighted, ça n'était pas souligné. C'est tout à fait normal que lui pouvait entrer en principe s'il n'avait pas le faciès Tutsi. Pour revenir à la question, oui, il y a certaines nationalités des Blancs spécialement qui m'ont approché parce que les Noirs.
Didi, est-ce que vous entendez Gershom?
Mais pas du tout. Pas du tout alors. Qu'est-ce qui se passe, Richie? On est attaqué là?
Je crois qu'on est attaqué. Hein? Il faut bien vérifier, partager l'espèce. Nos compatriotes nous attaquent sérieusement. Ouais, ça c'était notre combat.
La question.
Didi, vous me suivez?
Oui, on vous entend là, Safari.
Oui, nous sommes bien attaqués. Quoique il faut partager l'espèce, les amis.
Alors les amis,
voilà
partagez l'espace. Je crois qu'on a des attaques, donc.
Ouais.
Est-ce que Gershom, vous êtes là?
Oui, je suis là.
On vous a perdu pour un moment, donc vous pouvez reprendre la réponse. C'est comme ça. Je vous redonne le micro.
Ok. Pour la question, j'ai dit que j'ai été approché par certains blancs, spécialement certains des Nations Unies et même certains des responsables des ONG de droits de l'homme, précisément Ida Soya, c'est pas comment vous prononcez le nom. Ils m'ont encouragé, ils m'ont dit que j'ai fait preuve d'un courage exceptionnel. Et c'est à cette occasion-là d'ailleurs que j'ai fait aussi mes remarques à Ida Soya par rapport à son travail et les rapports que son ONG fait. Est-ce que j'ai répondu à la question?
Oui, oui, merci.
Convenablement, oui. Merci, Gershom.
Je vous en prie.
Richie, à vous, on redonne la parole à Safari pour la...
Oui.
Safari, à vous.
Merci beaucoup, les amis. Donc, le témoignage de tous nos frères qui ont été présents, qui nous ont représentés, met en lumière un programme d'un gouvernement qui veut ne pas reconnaître la réalité. Le génocide est réel. Quand vous suivez le témoignage de Willy Schutti, lui, il a échappé parce que quand vous voyez le nom, comment il est écrit, apparemment c'est passé. Mais Kagira Neza, c'était déjà un signe. Voilà, le nom lui-même, Kagira Neza, et donc voilà les signes. L'autre élément qui a été révélé, Barnabas. Barnabas, lui, il a témoigné, il dit, il m'a vu et il a regardé. Et Douglas l'a répété, on lui a demandé à Lingala. Et à Lingala, il dit, moi, Mouto, vraiment, à Congolais. Est-ce que ce monsieur, moi, tu le vois de par son visage, il est Congolais. Donc, Barnabas, déjà, lui, de par son visage, il a été condamné à ne pas accéder à cette salle. Donc, voilà un peu. Alors, l'idée, c'est quoi? C'est qu'aujourd'hui, ce qui nous arrive étant américains aux États-Unis, nous exclure pendant que nous avons écrit des correspondances comme organisation. Nous l'écrivons pour dire au gouvernement. C'est à notre qualité pour vous dire, s'il vous plaît, il y a un génocide réel. Vous avez armé les Ouazalendo, vous les financez et vous leur dites, faites le travail. Et le travail qu'ils disent, nous allons chasser les étrangers, les infiltrés, les Rwandais. Et ces Rwandais dont on parle au Congo sont les Tutsis. Et c'est un peu pour dire, tous les témoignages viennent confirmer que l'idéologie génocidaire contre les Tutsis au Congo est réelle. C'est cet élément-là que je voulais dire en résumé de ce qui a été dit, mais pour rappeler à tous nos compatriotes que le génocide, quand on le cite, je peux partager avec vous qu'il y a 10 étapes d'un génocide. Pour dire le mot génocide, il y a 10 étapes. C'est la classification, la symbolisation, la discrimination, la déshumanisation, et puis il y a le déni, l'organisation à tuer les autres là qu'on a déshumanisé. Comprenez que quand on nous déshumanise, on nous tue. Et puis au point 7, c'est la préparation. Là, les Ouazalendo sont préparés à exterminer un groupe ethnique, et ils le disent à travers le propos, mais également la persécution. Rappelez-vous la persécution que les Banyamulenge subissent dans le haut plateau de Minembwe, le bombardement, les maisons détruites. Vous avez suivi le discours du président de la République, il a cité d'autres endroits. Il n'a pas cité dans l'Ituri, chez les Bahema, il n'a pas cité chez les Banyamulenge dans le sud, il n'a pas cité. Et quand on cite, Gershom nous a dit, on a cité Katogo Kasika, mais on n'a pas cité les victimes de Gatumba, qui sont des Congolais, mais parce que ce sont des Banyamulenge, on les a ignorés dans la liste des victimes de ce génocide dont on parle. La persécution, c'est l'étape, la 8e étape. Le 9e étape, c'est les dénis. On nous dénie le droit d'exister au Congo. On nous dénie le droit d'être Congolais. On nous dénie l'appartenance nationale. Et l'étape dernière, c'est l'extermination. Et c'est là où nous sommes. Donc, si les Nations Unies, si le Human Rights Watch, c'est cette étape-là où nous sommes, l'extermination. On extermine un peuple après avoir terminé ces autres étapes. Quand on tue, vous avez suivi les youtubeurs que M. Mouyaya a reçus, qui lui ont donné l'interview. Ce sont des qui disent Kafar, il faut les exterminer. C'est là où nous sommes. Quand Bitakwira dit, le Tutsi, c'est un serpent qu'il faut le tuer, donc un animal qu'il faut éliminer. C'est là où nous sommes, et ça s'est fait maintenant en 2025. C'était pour dire le preuve que nous avons reçu, les témoignages de nos compatriotes, est un signe évident d'un projet qui existe. Maintenant, pour masquer, il crée le mot génocide oublié et il cite jusqu'à Tingi Tingi. Et pendant qu'ils ont cité les Hutus tués à Rutshuru, au début c'était 300 personnes, ils ont réduit à 140, mais ils appellent cela un génocide. Mais je crois que nous, Tutsis, au Congo, il n'y a jamais eu un discours d'une tribu, d'un personnage Tutsi, ou Munyamulenge, qui a appelé à tuer un Hutu, un Nande, un Hunde, un Nyanga, un Mufulero, un Mubembe ou bien Mushi. Et c'est là la réalité. Et nous devons ensemble continuer à dire tout haut le génocide réel au Congo contre les Tutsis au Congo et les Banyamulenge. Et les Bahema, ça c'est réel et ces étapes-là sont remplies. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup, Papa Safari. Comme je vous ai dit, on avait préparé beaucoup de questions pour nos intervenants. Comme ça, nous allons continuer avec la liste et après, on va faire un débat, an open debate for everybody. So, the series of questions that I have, I'm going to ask Douglas and as well as Safari. And also, I heard who is present again? Didi.
I think the Vice President of Isoko is there, Safari Kagiraneza.
Oh, that's good. So the microphone is gonna be on him. Ni ukoresha impuhwe? C'est lui? Ok, merci. Ok, merci. Donc, je vais poser des questions, quelques questions à Douglas, comme ça, et puis je reviens et je vous pose la question et Safari comme ça. Doug, as a community leader, I have a question for you. How do you think, how do you interpret this incident in the broader context of the UN's mission to promote inclusion and equality? And again, have you ever experienced the similar treatment in other international forums or events? Let's just start with those and then we go next. Doug, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Thank you. I can hear you.
All right. No, thank you. Again, we continue to thank everyone who's still listening, and those who have contributed as well. We continue to thank you as well. In terms of your question, let me jump to the second part of it. If I have ever experienced such a treatment in an international arena like this. Unfortunately, this is not the first time it happened to me. Certainly, this one is a little bit. It's a little bit at an international level, and because it was the venue itself being at the United Nations is a lot more prominent. But since growing up and living in diaspora, I've always been involved in community organizations such as this one. And I remember a similar incident happened to me back in England, where a conference was being held by I think at that time was Kabila, who was the president. And as an organizer, a community organizer, Banyamulenge community in England, I remember we wanted to attend the conference not only because we had a specific message, we just wanted to go and participate as other Congolese, to see our president, to listen to him. But the treatment that we got in that particular conference is exactly the same as this treatment. We were denied to get in because of the way we looked. At that time, we were called all sort of names: Rwanda, infiltré, all sort of names, just because we looked different. And unfortunately, that didn't even end well, because we got even to a point where we were physically assaulted. We were thrown out of the room. They were told that you're not welcome in this. This is a Congolese only conference. So to your point, this discrimination is not new to us. It's a story of our lives. It's a very sad story of our lives. Being of this generation, I don't think there's any Munyamlenge here or Tutsi from Tutsi from the northern part of Kivu who will tell you that at this time he's never encountered a discrimination because of who they are by our fellow Congolese. So this is it happened very often. It's a very sad situation, and that's why we need to stand up against this kind of treatment. We need to stand up and say with one word, not only us who are the people being persecuted, we need other people to stand up for us as well. Going back to your initial question, the context of it in this in regards to the United Nations and what it stands for, we can definitely see that our government, even though it is part of the United Nations, clearly do not understand or do not follow its rules and regulation. Discrimination against anybody because of their race, because of their gender, is against any international law, let alone a United Nations conference like this one. This tells you that we have a government that is bent on ensuring that the discrimination against its people, the government who's committing the genocide in the who's aiding the genocide, committing the genocide against its own people, being called upon coming into the United Nations and ensuring that what they're doing in the country is also following them. Today, as we stand here and we're talking about this discrimination, we should not be talking about discrimination at the United States Conference. Our government should be ensuring that the people who are supposed to come into conferences are given the opportunity. But unfortunately, you cannot hide what you have inside your heart. Our government should take responsibility of this particular discrimination. They should take high responsibilities of all these killings that is taking place in the Congo. They should take responsibility of these generations of discriminations, the killing that have been taken. And if you might ask me, why is it after all these years we still have wars? Gershom said it very well. If this is not addressed, if this discrimination is not addressed, we will never see peace in the Congo. The current government of DRC should know that if they do not address this endemic hatred within not only the government officials, the media in the Congo, the hate speech that's being promoted, that is the fundamental. That's the reason why we have ongoing wars until today. We need to be able to address the root causes of what's going on, the root causes of conflicts back home in the Congo, in order to have a hope to get peace back home. Otherwise, we will be here, this generation, and the next generation coming. So we need to make sure that our message is transmitted to the right people, starting at the United Nations, to our government, and every human rights organization that can listen to us. If we don't do it, we will come back here. Our children will inherit this particular hatred. Our children will be fighting the same war and the same discrimination that we have been fighting for us. So it's high time that everybody who's listening to here, who's listening to this podcast or listening to this space, should carry that message, saying that enough is enough. The Congolese people, the Tutsi in northern part of the Tutsi and Banyamulenge and Hema are human beings. Our lives do matter. Our lives do matter, and our rights need to be protected just like every other Congolese. Without that, the war will continue, the peace will never be seen. That's what I could answer you for that particular question for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doug. Before I could move on to Safari, the president of Isoko and vice president, I still have I have one more question for you that I want to ask you. Allow me to ask you this as a leader of community. What are the emotional and psychological impacts of this kind of exclusion on your people? Just briefly.
Yeah.
Starting
Thank
by
you so much.
yourself.
Yes. If by excluding me as the leader of Anyamulenge in the United States, it reflects very, very well onto the community. Our people have been discriminated way before they even got to this country. So seeing their representative being discriminated again in this country, it brings back memories. It brings back all the memories that they've went through. It gives them the notion that even where we are here in a country that's supposed to be a country of laws, we can still be discriminated. The fact that we run away from the genocide and the killing that we run away from can even follow us in a country like this one today. So there is this notion among our people that our freedom or our peace is still very, very far away. It's not touchable. We can't touch it yet. Them being in this country, it gives them a little bit of safety in terms of security. But when they look at the way we're being treated here and they think about our communities back home, it's painful. They tend to a point where they are in despair. They believe that the people who are still back at home are not safe. They're not safe. They're being killed. They're being bombed in northern part of in Minembwe. If you looking at the current situation in South Kivu, our villages in the southern part of Kivu are under siege. Minembwe is under siege. There is no humanitarian access. All the villages around, all the Banyamulenge villages in South Kivu are inaccessible. So they're being bombarded by the current government. There is no help. And if they're seeing that situation that's currently going on back home and seeing the discrimination on the leaders here in this country, that brings into perspective, and they know that there are still a long way to go until peace is achieved. So it's a very dear situation for them to be in, and I completely understand and feel their pain. And we're here, and we'll continue to talk. We'll continue to push until we see that we get our freedom, until we get that peace back home. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doug. Papa Safari, je vais vous poser aussi des questions, malheureusement, que c'est moi qui parle parce que Didi, peut-être que he's hacked. I don't know. He cannot hear everybody that really well. So, je vais vous poser deux questions pour the leadership, you and Safari. And right after that, I guess Safari, Vice President, will come back to tell us his story. So, my question is this. How have your organizations, Mahoro Peace Association and Isoko USA, formally responded to this incident? If Jarabaye, have you taken any step to contact, for instance, UN, the media, or international human rights groups? And the third is, what would you like to say directly to UN or other stakeholders who allowed this exclusion to happen? I don't know if you're going to respond all three of them, or if I can ask one by one. There was just those three questions.
Let's go one by one, please.
Okay, the first one was how have your organizations, Mahoro Peace Association and Isoko USA, formally responded to this incident? Est-ce que vous avez fait quelque chose? Merci.
Merci beaucoup, Richie. Je crois que c'est un combat et je crois que la lutte qui est menée, c'est une lutte pour laquelle nos organisations doivent travailler. Nous y avons travaillé. Quand nous avons vu les titres de 30 ans de conflits armés en RDC et des génocides oubliés et ignorés, et nous avons compris qu'il s'agissait de nous. C'était nous, les victimes des génocides. Et nous avons vu la première action, c'était d'écrire au maire de la ville de New York. Je crois que nous pouvons être fiers comme organisation d'avoir réussi avec toutes les personnes qui ont appelé le maire de la ville de New York, M. Eric Adams. Il a annulé sa présence à cette conférence. C'était déjà une réussite. Il n'a pas participé pendant qu'il était sur la liste des participants. Donc, c'était déjà le premier combat. Le deuxième combat, nous l'avons mené aux Nations Unies. Nous avons écrit à tous les ambassadeurs en mission diplomatique à New York, y compris la mission de la RDC aux Nations Unies. Et au Conseil permanent, au Conseil de sécurité permanent, nous leur avons écrit une lettre détaillée. Et dans cette lettre, nous parlions du vrai génocide qui est au Congo contre les Tutsis, et explicitement avec des détails à l'appui. Les mêmes détails ont été envoyés au maire de New York. C'était aussi un autre élément pour dire, voilà ce qui va arriver, voici ce qu'on parlait du Congo, mais le Congo nous a oubliés, nous sommes ses propres enfants. Ces lettres ont été envoyées et ont été publiées. Après le refus d'accepter le président de Maori Peace Association, Douglas, et le vice-président de Isoko, Safari Kagiraneza, nous avons compris qu'il fallait qu'on alerte les médias et nous avons fait un communiqué de presse le 23 septembre, le lendemain de la conférence, pour dénoncer la même discrimination qu'il y a 35 ans et la même discrimination qui s'est faite au pays, le même discours de haine que nous avons vécu quand nous étions au pays. Même étant aux États-Unis comme survivants de tous ces crimes, nous avons été aussi discriminés à aller parler du génocide, nous victimes, dans une conférence organisée par le président de la République avec la mission diplomatique des Nations Unies de la RDC. Voilà les actions que nous avons menées et nous allons continuer à alerter le monde, surtout les États-Unis, pour qu'ils sachent qu'au Congo, le génocide est réel. Les victimes, ce n'est pas ceux que le Congo lui-même est en train de présenter, mais le Congo lui-même, notre pays, arme, finance les Wazalendo, les miliciens extrémistes, les FDLR, qu'ils ont appelés dans un fourre-tout Wazalendo. Le discours est le même. Les médias également. Et nous voulons voir, dans la possibilité, demander au collectif des avocats d'attaquer également ceux-là qui appellent à tuer les Tutsis, à tuer les Banyamulenge à travers les réseaux sociaux. Merci beaucoup.
Merci, Papa Safari. Donc, je retourne à Papa Safari encore. Safari, on n'a pas eu la chance de vous entendre et on connaît que vous étiez aussi sur place. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous parler?
Vous parlez du vice-président alors?
Oui, c'est le vice-président.
Oui, il va parler Kinyarwanda parce qu'on veut balancer de part et d'autre pour que les témoignages arrivent de façon équitable.
Oui. Papa Safari, rero wowe urakoresha umwanya mutoya utubwire mu Kinyarwanda kubera ko turashaka ko ino audience abantu abakongomani bose babasha guparticipa ariko niyo mpamvu twashatse kubalansa mu ndimi zose comme ça watubwira uko byagenze hanyuma tukaza gukomeza n'ibindi umwanya w'ibibazo ndabona ari wo tugiye kujyamo. Murakoze cyane. Papa Safari, microphone ni yanyu.
Murakoze cyane bwana Richi, reka nshimire na buri wese wageze aha ngaha. Mu magambo makeya, n'ubu ngubu ngewe ndacyafite ubwoba kubera ko tukigera hariya nk'abakongomani bari bagiye kureba perezida wabo, nagize ihungabana nanone nagize muri 1993 ubwo nigaga mu wa gatatu. Umunyeshuri twiganaga yaravuze ngo tuzabica. Icyo gihe nahise ntekereza bazatwicira iki, ariko nanone inshuro ya kabiri ndi kujya mvuye igicanga ndi kwerekeza ahantu bita Imweso, bya bindi by'abana ibyo bita kotama cyangwa se gusombera, nasombereye imodoka noneho yaragendaga imanuka. Umutambi bo yavamo aramfata arankubita agenda ankaranga mu cyondo hafi nk'ibirometero 2 avuga ngo nye Batusi ni nye munareta vita mu Kongo. Urumva ni kera byongeye kungarukamo ngeze hariya Washington, New York, bari kuvuga ngo ntabwo wowe uri bwinjire. Mwabavandimwe mwe ngiye kubabwira utuntu nabonye ntago ndi bujye muri details kuko byose babivuze. Tukinjira Douglas yabanje kwinjira, baramubwira ngo jya hariya ku ruhande kuko hari amatsinda abiri y'abari bashinzwe umutekano. Itsinda rya mbere ryari ry'abanyamerika bari bahayarinze, itsinda rya kabiri ryari ry'abakongomani barimo insoresore harimo n'abakobwa. Wabanzaga kugera ku mukobwa akareba muri telefone ye, yarangiza akakubwira ati genda winjire, cyangwa se akakohereza ku musaza wari wicaye ahantu ari kureba kuri liste amazina ya buri muntu. Igitangaje njyewe nkimara kubona Douglas bamubwiye ngo subira hariya turaje ikibazo cyawe tukigeho, nahise ntaninga mind yanjye ndavuga nti rero uko biri kose ibintu birahindutse, reka noneho ndebe ese uyu musaza koko ari kureba amazina cyangwa se amushubijeho bitewe n'impamvu. Ngihagera icyo nihutiye ni ukureba mbese izina ryanjye ririmo. Yazamuye urupapuro rwa mbere mu buryo bwihishe cyane, azamura urupapuro rwa kabiri, urwa gatatu izina ryanjye rya Safari Kagiraneza ryari riri mu ibara ry'umuhondo. Irya Douglas Kabunda ryari nk'irya gatatu ukurikiye iryanjye. Nanjye arambwira ngo nawe genda hariya ujye ku ruhande. Nahise ntangira kugira ubwoba, ntekereza ko bishobora kuza kutugiraho ingaruka bitewe n'imitekerereze n'imibereho abakongomani babayemo, y'uburyo bajya bafata abantu bagahita babica nta kibazo, ukabona umuntu baramwishe burundu. Ubwo nkimara gusohoka nafashe telefone yanjye, ndavuga nti buri kintu cyose kiri bubere hano ndagifata, ndagifotora, kugira ngo nihagira n'uwo banica nibura wenda tuzagaragaze n'amashusho. Ntago byatinze kuko wiri inshuti we izina rye ntago ryari highlighted, we yagezaho arinjira. Amaze kwinjira, igitangaje nari ahantu ku ruhande, hari akavideo muyaya yinjira, yabonye Douglas Kabunda bakubitana amaso, nibavuze ati aba bafuna cumu nabo bageze aha ngaha nanone. Birashoboka ko yahise atanga sinye, kuko ngewe ikintu nari namaze gufata opposition niyo gufata buri kantu kose kari kubera aho ngaho. Bitaratinda niho naje kubona wiri inshuti bamusohoye basa naho bamufashe mu ijosi. Ndavuga nti ibyo navuze, ibyo natekereje bishobora kuba bigiye kuba. Ngize amahirwe sinzi ubwenge bagize, bamusohoye nkaho bamusohoye mu kinyabupfura, ariko mu nzu bari batangiye kujya bamufata basunika. Vuga nti abangaba bitewe n'imitekerereze yabo wasanga bakoze amahana hanga. Niyo mpamvu mwabonye kare aka video nagafashe, agisohoka ntangira kumubaza ibimubayeho. Reka mbabwize ukuri, niba mwararebye neza hari abana babiri bari mbese beskotinze timu yari iri kumwe na muyaya b'imisatsi, nibo bambwiye ngo ntago muri bwinjire. Babwira ni kubera iki tutari bwinjire? Ngo amazina yanyu ngo ntabwo ari amakongomani. Niho twagiye ku ruhande, noneho nsa naho ndi kubakuramwe amagambo, ndi kubabaza niyihe mpamvu mutemera ko twinjira. Arambwira ati rwose ubundi uvuka he? Ndamubwira ati ngewe mvuka muri Kongo. Aramba hehe? Ndamubwira nti muri North Kivu. Ngo ayayaya, ngo aya mazina yanyu ngo aragaragara nk'aho ari amanyarwanda cyangwa amagande. Guys, nahise numva ngize ubwoba, ndavuga nti bano bantu uko biri kose bamaze kugaburirwa urwango rutazigera rurangira. Noneho niho navuze nti rero igikwiye kubaho nuko bino bintu twabisakaza ku mbuga nkoranyambaga, kugira ngo nibura wenda n'abandi batazi ikibazo iyi shusho n'aya mazina bifite babashe kuba babisobanukirwa. reka mbabwire nti umuntu wese witwa amazina nk'ayo dufite n'iyi shusho dufite, nta gihe na kimwe nkurikiye ibyabereye hariya, nta gihe na kimwe kongi izigera itubona nk'abantu bayo. Ari nayo mpamvu mpamagarira abantu mbabwira nti ese niba uri ku ruhande rwa leta ukaba utaritabiriye ibiganiro bya perezida wawe, uri kutubureminga twebwe twagiyeyo kubera iki? Niba wenda twebwe twaragiye mu makosa, niyihe mpamvu batazanye bamwe mu bari ku ruhande rwa leta b'abatutsi nibura ngo baze bahagarare hariya ku muryango bajye bavuga ngo wowe Safari ndakuzi ntabwo winjira, wowe Douglas Kabunda ndakuzi ntabwo winjira? Kubera iki batakoze iyo strategy? Abantu muri nyuma ya Kisekedi, reka mbabwize ukuri, namwe ubwanyu murabizi ko turi guhohoterwa, ariko noneho mukagumya gutsimbarara namwe ibyo mutemera. Reka mbasabe muhindure icyerekezo, kubera ko uru rugamba ndababwiza ukuri nitutarurwana ngo turutsinde, ari mwebwe muri kuvuga ngo muri nyuma ya Gisegeti ntazabemera, muzasanga mwararuhiye ubusa. Rero mureke dufatanye urugamba turebe ko twagira iwacu huzuye. Murakoze Bwana Richi.
Murakoze cyane. Didi, ubu ngubu urabasha kuvuga, mikrofone yawe irakora?
Richard Ukunyumva, peux-tu m'entendre? Can you hear me?
Je t'entends, I can hear you.
Oui, j'utilise mon propre compte. Donc, barakoze aba intervenant, abafashe ijambo, ni ukuri turabashima ku bwa courage yanyu, le courage que vous avez eu de participer et d'aller à New York. Et merci aussi de nous relater vos témoignages. Ndibaza yuko tugeze mu kanya Richie ko ku opening a dialogue, noneho abafite ibibazo babibaze. Siko bimeze Richie?
Yeah, niko bimeze. Nanjye ndahita nkibarizamo ikibazo kimwe dutangira, hanyuma ukuntu bari buze gukurikirana haraza kubanza Free Mind niwe wageze mbere, Free Africa, I'm sorry, hari uwitwa Free Africa arakurikirana na Nomade, kuko Nomade yabanje aramanuka arongera aragaruka yanadukiniye n'imiziki, and then nimamara kubaza ndababwira abandi bara. Entre temps, I have one more question that I just want to ask.
Richie, before you ask your question, combien de questions on a? Ndibaza yuko byaba byiza ababaza ibibazo vous adressez la question aux participants, soit Douglas Kabunda, Safari Munyarugendo, Safari Kagiraneza, activiste Gershom Barnabas. Ikibazo cyanyu murakibaza umuntu umwe, noneho akibasubize. Turafata ibibazo bingahe Richie?
Bo nasaba ko n'ababaza ibibazo bazajya bapresiza avuga uwagiye kubaza, kandi mubibaze mu buryo bugufi kugira ngo space ze kurangira kare abantu bose babasha guparticipa.
Rakoze.
Okay,
Richie, I will allow, please, can you give only a number of questions? Let's go by 5, 6, or 7, and then we stop, because you can't say open questions. Please.
Okay, sounds good. So we're gonna start with the five first questions. So if you have one question, Ubwo urafunga microphone, and then we're gonna go to the next, and then he's gonna ask another question. So I'm asking all the speakers to note down the questions so that bize kutworohera coordinating ikiganiro. Okay, my question was, I have one question to both Safari and Douglas, and I want both of you to speak on this before I give the microphone to others. Have other Congolese organizations or civil society leaders expressed solidarity with your cause? We start with Douglas and then Safari.
Thank you. I can answer that one. So far, we haven't received an official civil organization from other Congolese community in regards to this. However, I have personally received a message of encouragement, a message of sympathy from a group of Congolese people, of Congolese group that that represent the Swahili phone of Congo. I think they are represented in a platform called Mashariki Plus. It's an organization made up of Congolese, of Swahili-speaking Congolese. They sent a message and they even called me. That is the only community that have reached out and provided some kind of comfort and a message of solidarity. Apart from that, we have yet to receive any other groups at all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Safari Munyarugendo, aussi, j'ai une question pour toi. La question se dit, what actions are you planning to ensure your voices are represented at the international level going forward? Thank you. And then I open the mic for other people who wants to ask questions. Papa Safari, la question vous est adressée.
Merci beaucoup Richie. Oui, la question c'était comment allons-nous faire parvenir nos messages au niveau international. Je crois que notre histoire elle-même, elle est une histoire qui est partagée. Ce combat de plaidoirie, nous l'avons commencé. Et surtout, nous sommes unis comme organisation de représenter nos communautés parce que nous avons été tués en 1990, dans les années 90, nous sommes en 2025. On continue à nous tuer au pays et nous sommes des réfugiés qui ont été reçus aux États-Unis. Nous continuons à faire cette plaidoirie. Notre façon de faire la plaidoirie, elle est située à deux niveaux. Il y a l'aspect judiciaire, juridique, tous les crimes, tous les discours de haine qui sont faits contre nous, les Tutsis congolais, les Banyamulenge, nous et les Hema. Nous les enregistrons, nous les gardons et nous les amenons comme des preuves matérielles devant des procès à venir, comme acte de génocide. Parce que les propos eux-mêmes peuvent te faire tuer. Et quand quelqu'un qui est youtubeur, qui a une chaîne YouTube, ils sont aux États-Unis, il dit que les Tutsis sont des cafards, déjà, quand vous regardez la loi, ce qu'on appelle la loi antisémitique, vous retrouvez que ce sont des signes qui t'interdisent d'appeler l'autre dans un qualificatif qui peut amener à être victime. Ces éléments-là, ces preuves, nous les rassemblons pour les présenter devant les collectifs des avocats. Donc, il y a un collectif d'avocats qui attend de nous, comme représentants de mutualité, qui reçoivent tous ces détails et les amène au niveau juridique. C'est le premier niveau. Le deuxième niveau, c'est d'alerter. Alerter, nous sommes aux États-Unis. Ceux qui sont au Canada, ceux qui sont en Europe, vous avez vu que le même jour, le 22 septembre, au même moment, les mutualités des Banyamulenge et des Tutsis du Nord Kivu et les Yéma se sont retrouvés à une conférence de presse à Bruxelles pour présenter les faits réel qui demande le génocide qui est fait contre les Tutsis, les Banyamulenge et les Hema. De la même manière, nous demandons aujourd'hui que chacun dans vos États respectifs parlez à ceux qui présentent un narratif qui parle de génocide sans citer les victimes. Et c'est ce travail que nous demandons à nos membres respectifs, partout où vous êtes. Si vous voulez présenter ce cas, veuillez contacter nos comités respectifs pour qu'on vous donne les matériels. Si quelqu'un est au Texas, il a YouTube qui parle contre les Tutsis, nous avons le matériel pour nous amener et pouvez le traduire en justice. Voilà ce travail. Mais au-delà de ça, il y a des lettres. Nous avons écrit au président Donald Trump, au secrétaire d'État Mark Rubio. Nous avons écrit aux sénateurs qui sont au Foreign Relations Committee. Mais surtout, la dernière action, quand nous avons écrit au maire de la ville de New York, nous avons dit, allez à cette conférence, ça serait une trahison contre le pays qui nous a amenés ici comme survivants d'un génocide qui se faisait chez nous au Congo. Nous vous demandons de ne pas aller. C'est grâce à ces écrits, à tous les appels qui ont été faits contre la présence du maire de New York, que le maire de New York n'a n'a pas assisté à cette conférence. Voilà, c'est à ce niveau-là que nous voulons amener notre lutte. Elle est une lutte de plaidoirie. Nous n'allons faire que ça et nous demandons que le monde sache ce qui se passe chez nos pays et ce qui s'est passé sur nous qui avons été accueillis aux États-Unis, en Europe, au Canada et en Australie parce que nous étions victimes d'une planification d'extermination comme ethnie dans notre pays, la RDC. Merci beaucoup.
Merci infiniment, Safari. Richie, tu es toujours avec nous?
Oui, je suis là.
Alors, je crois qu'on va procéder aux questions. Donc, je crois que vous aviez donné la parole à Free Africa Autonomy Group. Vous nous dites qui vous êtes, vous adressez votre question à quel intervenant et on procède de la suite, de la sorte. Free African and feel free. English, French, Kinyarwanda, Lingala, Swahili.
Thank you so much, Richie. Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, I really want to thank Richard and you, Isoko, for this big conversation today. Thank you for what you're doing. We really appreciate your time and your hard working to bring our community together. So, to be brief, I have a question for Douglas Kabunda, the president of Mahoro Peace Association, which is my community member, also my community organization. Douglas, we know very well, also you yourself said this is not first time. It happened to you in the UK. If I remember correct, this is not first time in the US. During previous administration from Mahoro Peace Association, the same situation happened to some of the Mahoro Peace Association representative. I remember very well. I don't know if Richard remember, but this were like in Washington. The President Kisekedi came here and he gave time to speak to Congolese, and our fellow Banyamulenge was denied on the entrance. Same situation. I remember this situation. I don't know, it was like a few years ago. It happened in Washington. Then we got some videos. Our brothers went home without given a chance to be in the meeting of Congolese diasporas. So this is not first time, and it's not gonna be the last time. So my question to you, Douglas, I remember during your campaign, because myself, I was campaigning for one of the position, you said you will be doing something so we can document what's happening to us, so we can use our very professional documentation to fight for justice, so they are well kept. Even when we achieve peace, we can still revisit what was happening to us so our kids can know what we went through. What are you doing as you promised to keep this documentation? The second question is for you too. You can respond, or the Isoko chairman can respond. You guys, you have a very big community here, members of our Tutsi, or let me say, people from North and South Kivu in diaspora. We are so many. I think we are in the thousands. What can we do, since this is not happening for first time and it's going to happen again? What can we do next time to be more prepared? Not just for advocacy. We did a lot in advocacy, guys. The FM from Rwanda was speaking to the UN, our issue, our problem. He spoke to Trump direct in the White House. We don't need more advocacy. We already have much advocacy. What you guys can do, so you can use your thousands of members to respond accordingly to such a big hatred event. We know that good leaders are those who can rally their peers around their cause. We are so many. I think if we were prepared and show up in numbers, that's gonna be another situation to talk. They may feel our presence. We are in America, you know. They can't treat us here the same way they are treating us in Congo. I wish you guys next time you prepare your peers so we go in numbers so they can feel our presence there. It's not just coming in the US and do whatever they want. Why? You guys have members in thousands. How can you rally your peers so we can follow you and to fight for justice? Not just advocates of writing letters, talking to senators. Even Trump knows our issue. So we have to step up, use your members, and have a very, very response. And also, lastly, what are you doing to respond to this? Don't talk about sending letters. We need a very practical, tangible response. Thank you.
No, thank you very much for. I can answer that for the questions. Yeah, I think you've asked 3 questions. The first question you ask about the what we are doing to ensure that we have a better documentation of what's happening to us. And thank you for keeping me honest in terms of my campaign promises. And I'll be very happy to share with you. First of all, I'm very happy for your question, and I'm very lucky to have my community members, young community members who are engaged and who are following and making sure that the elected are accountable. I like your attitude. I like the fact that you had that question. In terms of documentation, we do have we have plans. We have what we are planning on doing is very well prepared. As you know, we just started our mandate. We have our website, which is the Mauro Association website. Right now, it is the area that we're planning on using as a repository for all the letters and everything that we're doing. However, we also have a plan to create a more technologically advanced database, whether it's going to be a website or whether it's going to be a website that's dedicated to archive everything that we do or everything that we're planning on doing so that it's accessible by not only our members, but also by organizations that will need documentation as part of the legal process when we bring our cases to international courts. So that is something that I promise and something that we're going to have to deliver. It's still at the beginning, but we have not forgotten about it. Yes, second question that you ask is a very, very important question. We do have numbers. We have enough numbers to make a difference. However, we need to look at this and our advocacy a little bit different. We cannot keep doing the same thing, the same type of advocacy, and expect something different. We need to rethink our method and our methodology. Right now, we still rely on the old way of doing this. We send letters, we do march, and we expect things to change. Even though our voices are being heard in different type of situation. For example, we had a positive outcome on our advocacy in terms of this particular conference because we prevented the mayor of New York City from attending that particular conference. That's a positive. It's proof that the old method can work if it's done properly. The fact that we did not mobilize enough people to attend the meeting is because this particular conference was put under wrap. It wasn't given to us enough time to organize, and they knew that. They knew that because the intent of this conference wasn't right. The intent of this conference was to divert away from the real issue. The government of DRC knew that by publicizing this conference, there will be a lot of opposition because what they're trying to portray us, or trying to protect the genocide, is not the right way. They're trying to make sure that the victims are presented as the perpetrators. And that's why they try to keep this particular conference under wraps so that not many people will know about it. Even if you ask other Congolese, they'll tell you, but they didn't know about this conference. So that's the reason why we did not mobilize enough people. to ensure that we have enough presence in New York. And the fact that that was given to us few days before the event, we did not have enough time to apply for permits for protesting, and we cannot gather in New York City with large numbers without permit. So they knew all that and they were prepared, and that's why we did not mobilize. But to go back to your point, I think it's about time that we use our numbers. Both our communities work together. In the past, our communities have not really worked together closely. I think we need to change that. I think this is the right path. For our voice to be properly represented, we need to unite and put our voices together. And that's one way. And the second bit is to ensure that we need to start doing a long-term planning for our people. We live in this country. We have access to all the administrative positions that we can occupy. So we need to start educating our youth people to start working into occupying these or getting into the administration of the United States. This will give us a better voice, a better representation, and our advocacy will be a lot more powerful than just letters and protest. So there is a period of education. We need to ensure that our youth and our people are engaged at the local level. They participate in their local election. I do have an example that I can provide, which is the Ethiopian community in America. The Ethiopian community have such a large voting population in this country that they're able to get enough lobbying power during election time. They can elect a person who is going to help them with their plaidoyer, with their advocacies. So we need to move beyond what we've been doing in the past 2 years, plan ahead, have our youth and our people involved at the local level, at the state level, and then from there, we'll have enough power going forward. So the struggle is real. There are a lot of battles that we need to fight, but in reality, everything is in our hands if we are committed enough to do it. So I really thank you for this question, and I hope everybody who is listening and who has a dog in this fight to start looking at what we can do, and we are going to be able to provide that education. We're going to drive that knowledge into the people at the state level so that our people can integrate in American politics, so that we can have a better representation and a better voice going forward.
Thank you so much, Doug. I guess so. I'm gonna just put some few remarks. And Free Africa, if you don't have another question, you may want to step down a little bit so that we can let other people come up, because we already full on stage, and we have a lot of people who are demanding to come up and ask questions. So after Nomad ask question, the third person is gonna be Mhundu. So. Mind you, if you finish, when you finish to ask a question, so you can be flexible and give other people space so that we can keep on with the. Didi, est-ce que tu m'entends?
Oui, je vous entends 5 sur 5.
Ok, merci. Donc, voilà. Nomad, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Richie. Thank you, Didi, and thank you, everybody here. Before I ask my question, it won't be fair if I don't voice my appreciation. So let me applaud the courage and bravery of our brothers who have shown that fear have been vanquished. Some of us, of my age, who've been living in North America or in Europe for some time now, we lived through the period of Les Combattants. I don't know if some of you remember.
And the time that we were being attacked in bars, in malls, and God forbid if you try to attend such meetings like the one my brothers here and sisters attended. The barbaries that played at that time, the barbaries that were used against us, played a big role in holding back our brothers and sisters from attending such meetings. Aujourd'hui, vous avez prouvé absolument que malgré les menaces, le moment est venu de renverser la situation sans vouloir offenser personne. le moment est venu de renverser la situation. Sans vouloir offenser personne, je veux vous rappeler, pas une histoire, mais c'est que les gens disent. Ils disent ceci. Lorsque vous tournez les dos par peur à un chien enragé, c'est là qu'il vous mord. And my brothers, today you have set a precedent. Good people like you, our youth, will know that you've done what is possible and what used to be impossible, and it has an impact. Indeed, more is asked of our youth and ourselves from now on to stand up, to rise, stand up and fight for our rights. My question now, I applaud also the brother who asked the question before me, because believe me, that's almost what I was going to ask, and I changed my question, but it has something to do with that as well. Comment pouvons-nous aujourd'hui capitaliser sur cet incident malheureux, which is also a proof of what people are actually experiencing and enduring daily, whether in Minembwe, whether in Masisi, whether in Kinshasa. How can we capitalize on this event to the point that the world, because now we have a proof that what happens in New York, it's actually happening in another scale, back behind the curtains. Comment est-ce que vous, et là se pose la question est vraiment ouverte aux leaders, les gens qui nous ont entretenus ce soir, comment est-ce que vous pensez que nous allons utiliser, vous pouvez utiliser ce qui est arrivé là-bas pour pouvoir amener la voix des sans-voix au niveau le plus haut? Et dans ce sens-là aussi, ça tombe dans exactement ce que notre jeune frère a posé comme question auparavant. Merci.
So is that question addressed to anybody? Can anybody pick it up? Or
yes, I asked her to the panel.
Douglas, you can start, and then
see you, Douglas, and President Safari as well.
Yeah, merci beaucoup. Let me have a first attempt to it. Safari can respond in French. You asked the question in French, so he'll try to answer that as well. But I think it's the continuation of what we just said. The fact that this event has happened in New York, here in America, highlights exactly what is not only the exact, maybe the worst of what's happening back home to the people like us. This is it's a screen image of what's happening back home, but at a large scale. So there is, from now on today, there is no doubt that what we say and what people back home are saying is true. If it can happen to us here in America, imagine what's happening to those who are not here, to those who are in the Congo, to those who are in areas where the current government is controlling. So the notion of knowing that what's happening to us is what was hidden is now being brought to the public, to the world to see. I think we need to capitalize on it. And the first thing that we're going to do, and this is exactly what we're doing here, we need to talk to the world. We need to make sure that our voices are heard at the international level. We do have a disadvantage in regards to our ability to send our message clear to everybody else. I don't think we have enough finances to go and talk about our issues at the big television channels. But I have always said, we do have the media with us. We are the media. We need to make sure that we empower ourselves to believe that the message that we want to send out there, we can do it without relying on other people. Once we have that belief, we have enough people, we have technology to push our messages through our social media. But also, we have to make sure that we have plans that addresses this administration level. We have teams that are ready for ensuring that our causes are presented at different legal institution. Safari has said about the groups of lawyers that are currently working on it. That's an area that we have to continue. But in terms of what's happening back home, our country is pretty much inaccessible to people like us. We have a small area that's currently liberated, but a bigger part of the country back home is inaccessible to people like us. So it's very difficult for us to bring that message to a regime that's trying to suppress our message. Our only hope is the people who are here, the diaspora. Let's build a stronger diaspora that's going to do a proper advocacy so that whenever there is the need to denounce, the need to say something that's happening, where we have enough resources to do it. We've been in this struggle for a long time. We have been in this struggle for many years. However, we've been doing exactly the same thing. I think it's about time that we think differently. It's about time that we start looking at different ways of providing solution. And this is
Douglas, we've lost you.
Il a reçu un appel, je crois.
Fort probable. En attendant qu'il revienne, Mpundu will be next.
The bébé.
And then Trilbano, yes?
I think I would recommend the two communities to get together for them to strategize how they are going to advocate for their people and their future and their next generation and everything, instead of basically laying out strategies right here on open space like this, because it's not going to really, I don't think it's even strategic. This one is even less strategic. So I think questions like this should be asked when communities are together just by themselves, because this is how we can basically bring about the change, the development, the strategies and all of that. This is how we can lay out every single approach that we can use. But right here, I don't think it's gonna really serve us even better. Thank you.
Well noted.
Merci beaucoup. Didi, je vais ajouter quelque chose. Je crois que la question...
Douglas avait toujours la parole, Safari. Allez-y pendant 30 secondes et puis Douglas reprend la parole.
Oh, il est là?
Il est de retour.
Ouais, je suis là, je vais juste chuter. No, you said it very well. The fact that we're currently hosting joint conferences like this one, Joint Stock, it's because we have decided and we realized that our communities are stronger together. Our communities are stronger when they put their efforts together, and that's what we're going. We're going to develop further by working together. I'll give my time to Safari as well to continue.
Yeah, merci beaucoup, Douglas. Je crois que vous l'avez bien dit. Je crois que je vais donner les éléments de référence. Quand les gens se mettent ensemble, leur voix peut aller plus loin. Je vous donne un exemple. Nos deux communautés, au nord comme au sud du Kivu, nous avons été discriminés en 1991. La majorité d'entre vous peut-être n'étaient pas encore nés. En 1991, nous nous sommes retrouvés une fois et nous avons dit, plus jamais ceci. Luttons ensemble pour que nous puissions accéder à la conférence nationale souveraine. Ça, c'est un élément de l'histoire que chacun d'entre vous doit prendre à cœur. Si nous étions en 91, nous étions appelés des gens à nationalité douteuse, nous ne savions pas qu'un jour, on allait nous donner une semaine, comme ce que l'Oabanji a fait en 1996. On n'allait pas savoir qu'on allait tuer les gens dans le Massissi, dans le Minembwe. On n'avait pas l'idée. Mais une autre fois, en 1995, nous avons écrit, comme Tutsi Banyamulenge à Kinshasa, au président Mobutu. Et comprenez que c'est toutes ces actions-là qui ont mené qu'aujourd'hui, nous pouvons regarder en arrière. Nos aînés ont fait quelque chose. Et encore notre référence, si le 17 mars, nous sommes partis au Congrès, à Washington, nous avons vu les sénateurs, nous avons été au département d'État, nous sommes partis à l'ambassade du Congo pour dire à haute voix, cessez de nous tuer. Nous sommes des Congolais. Ça, c'est ordre de référence. Les écrits que nous avons faits aujourd'hui, qu'on a adressés au maire de New York, ça, c'est une autre référence. Il y a eu un succès, il n'a pas apparu à la conférence qui était organisée où nous avons été chassés. Voilà ces éléments de référence. Vous, comme jeunes, take those references, then put them in perspective. Les autres actions peuvent être menées. Et si nous voyons aussi la lutte que mènent nos enfants au pays qui ont refusé de mourir, qui disent, au lieu de mourir sans combattre, j'aimerais me battre jusqu'à ma mort. Ça, c'est un autre exemple qui doit nous préparer, nous qui sommes dans la diaspora. C'est la lutte libère. Et je crois que nous, comme société civile, comme communauté, nos écrits ont un impact. Il y a quelqu'un qui a dit non, vous écrivez seulement, s'il vous plaît. L'histoire est faite des écrits. Sur Isoko, vous allez sur le website de Isoko, vous retrouvez les correspondances de 1965. Où on dit, un Américain dit, voilà, ces gens sont discriminés, on les appelle des étrangers, ce ne sont pas des étrangers. Ce sont des Congolais, 165. Vous retrouvez toutes les correspondances et si vous pouvez dire s'ils ont fait ça, je peux écrire notre lettre. C'est sur ce document. Ce document qu'on a envoyé au maire de New York. Et je crois qu'il a eu le temps de les lire. Parce que ces staffs ont dit à ceux-là qui appelaient, ils ont dit that's too much, leave just a message, that's too much. Voilà les effets des écrits et des actions. Mais on peut faire plus et ensemble encore, on peut travailler. Je remercie mon frère Douglas avec qui nous avons compris que c'est ce travail en commun qui va nous permettre à ce que nos voix arrivent et nous demandons à tous nos membres, partout où vous êtes, venez, prenez ces écrits, vous pouvez les utiliser et faire votre voix puisse être entendue. Entendu chez vos sénateurs dans vos États respectifs. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup Safari et Douglas pour avoir répondu à cette question essentielle dans cette lutte. Monsieur Mpundu, Mr. Mpundu, Muvandimwe Mpundu, à vous le microphone pour une question.
Thank you so much, my brother, the host and the co-host as well. I'm just gonna be brief, but before I need to shout out to the brother. The name is Gush Kahebe. His first name I can't pronounce it, but a big because I know you are in a space where you can have like a reflect conversation without deflecting. That's rare. Not a lot of people, not a lot of Congolese are able to do that. So especially, I have to thank you for that. To fight and get in and get the message across, that was a good fight. My concern or my question should be very brief. It's not the first time and it's not going to be the last time. But we are at the point where enough is enough. even if you were to attend such a conference, you need to know at the back of your mind that you need to be prepared that something like this, it's going to happen, because it has happened several times. When I saw the return of Mr. President Douglas, when they turned him back, as well as his the people that were together, I was like, if I was Mr. President Douglas and I was at the scenario, I was at the sports, I was not gonna go back. That conference wasn't going to be happening. That was the moment where I don't know the measurements, I don't know what the structure was, but that was the moment where you're supposed to disturb that conference to the larger scale. You shouldn't care if they were to arrest you, you shouldn't care if they were to push you shouldn't care if they were to beat you, but that was the moment of denying the existence of that conference. Especially in New York City, there's a gentleman who said it as well, that people, but at that spot, I don't know why you guys didn't have a courage sport, because there's nothing you're gonna get as two people for free or in the nice way. Everything that we are passing through, everything that we're supposed to get it by force. That we all know. So at that, there was no need for you guys to. Of course, you had to hide, you had to speak, you had to say what happened. But I think there was supposed to be more. It just brings me to point of views on the discrimination of Tutsi. That wherever you go, whether you're doing advocacy, whether you're doing whatever, just that you are fighting. There is no such a thing like you're going to be polite, you're going to be diplomatic, no.
En consideration, muzaba mukoze murakoze.
urakoze cyane. ndabona Beat Union niba yahise agenda kubera ko peut-être ko bamuhamagaye, nahise mpereza chance umuntu umwe wari wakomeje kuzamuka. Kimwe mu bintu bisekeje ku bintu uvuze nuko ejo hari space ninjiyemo juste arimo aravuga ngo we impamvu ashobora kuba bataramwemereye kwinjira ngo bamubonye asuhuza Douglas ngo yasuje Douglas
bazamutekerera n'ibindi byo kuvuga byo kubesha. Urumva ke n'imari
ngo sinzi ikintu cyari kiri mu ntoki za Douglas kugira ngo
Richie uriya Patrick baramwangiye kwinjira.
Ya baramwangiye kwinjira.
Na video zirahari.
Ngo baramwangiye kwinjira kubera uko asa n'amazina ye. Rero ubu ngubu baramumenye batangiye kumukoresha.
Ikintu kintangaje kuri bagabo ni ikintu kimwe, abantu nibitangaza. Uriya muhungu baramwangiye, duhari turi kumwe, aragerageza aringinga, anavuga na se ngo bakunde bamwemerere, baramwangira. Nawe ahera mu gihirahiro, twanga kumusiga. Ubwo twari tugiye kugira ngo nibura dukomeze kuba turi kumwe, turi guhumurizanya, twanga kumusiga, turajyana tujya gufata rwose n'akantu ko kurya turi kumwe. Nawe rwose avuga ati nta kindi gitumye banyangira, ni facial expression yanjye, nukonsa nibyo bibiteye, nibyo rwose bitumye banyangira. tunumvikana ko noneho ubu mu byukuri agiye no guhindura mind. Aravuga ati ibi bintu mbonye hano nanjye ntago bizatuma nkomeza kuba ku rwego narindiho. Rwose ngewe yaranzi, tuziranye hano kuri imihanda, turaziranye, turaganira, tunavugana ko tuzanasurana en fait. Urumva twe twamaze kujya mu mwanya umwe, yabonye yuko nawe yakore discrimination kiyo natwe twakorewe. Agerageza no kumbwira uburyo rwose base nabo ari amabura kindi ko babona ko discrimination ihari. none aka kanya ndumiwe ari kujya mu masipesi akavuga ko rukubera yasuhuje Douglas. Iri ni ryaguye n'irindi riri kunagana, ndumiwe. Amaganya yari afite n'agahinda n'umujinya yari yagiriye abantu bari barimo hariya, avuga ati iri vangura turarirambiwe. Aka kanya intoki za Douglas nizo zihindutse ikibazo. Ibi ni ibibazo, ndumiwe. Abantu Richi, niba ari uko bimeze ni igitangaza gusa nta kindi.
reka nanjye nyongera akantu kuri icyo ngicyo. Niyo mpamvu navuze mbere nko nidutakaza energy dukurikira bano bantu, ntabwo mvuga ngo tubasuzugure cyangwa ngo dusuzugure ibyo bakora, ariko bano bantu ni abantu ibyo bakora babikorera for a specific reason. Twebwe ibyo dukorera kubera ko dufite ikintu tugomba gufightinga for, dufite ikintu cy'ukuri kandi tuzagitsinda. Ibona ibintu temporere, nimba ari amafaranga, nimba ari amaposition, nimba ari ubuhemu, ibyo ni ibyabo. Let's not dwell on them. Ntidusuzugure ibyo bakora, tubikurikirane kandi tubibeshyuze, ariko ntituwesting energy zacu twiruka bazatuma tuba distracted ku ntambara turimo. Iyacu it's about survival. Iyacu it's about ensuring that ubwoko bwacu buzabeho mu mahoro. Iyabo ntambara ntabwo ari icyo ngicyo, bafite ibyabo bindi bagenderaho. So let's not waste our time to spending too much time on them, ariko turebe message yacu ariyo to driving with energy and courage. Murakoze.
Thank you so much, Douglas. I guess we only have 2 people left. Namwe muhite muba bref mubivuge murangiza. Hari akandi ka message banyongere Didi. Barambwiye ngo Patrick ngo yashatse ngo ambasade wa Congo baraziranye, yashatse ko amwinjiza, nabwo ngo nyine bifata amazi ntibyakunda. Hano wa DC donc nawe ntiyamwinjiza ntibyakunda, asigara hariya. Ariko noneho anambwiye ko muri space hariya ngo yavuze ko impamvu we ngo atinjiye ngo ari ukubera ko ngo yari yakererewe. Urumva version arakomeza yongera n'utundi biraza kuba byinshi. EM wavuga quickly, then Fabien Ntagomwa, ubundi tugaclosinga space yacu, please.
Merci beaucoup. J'aimerais juste partager un complément de tout ce que vous venez de partager. Et puis, j'ai juste une simple message à tous nos compatriotes congolais et congolaises. Ça ne m'a pas étonné de ce qui s'est passé à vous, à New York, parce que 3 mois passés, un collègue au travail, il m'a révélé quelque chose de spécifique, très étonnant, et puis il m'a dit qu'il y a vraiment Attends.
Est-ce que vous êtes là? Je vous entends pas. Fabien Ntagomwa wafata microphone. Si vous pouvez parler. Ouvrez votre micro et parlez. Fabien? Didi?
Non, je ne l'entends pas, Richie non plus.
Fabien ne parle pas, M ne parle pas, donc je pense que...
On conclut?
Oui, on conclut, oui.
Ok. Alors, on adresse nos remerciements sincères à tous ceux qui ont participé.
Non, je reviens, je m'excuse. Donc, il y avait quelques empêchements. J'aimerais avoir quelques peu de sécurité là où je suis. Donc, et puis, très fort il y a 3 mois passés. Il me disait, lui, il est ami des hauts cadres du gouvernement congolais et il a vraiment parlé à propos de Patrick Muyaya. Il m'a dit que, donc c'était après quelques jours, il y avait beaucoup de choses qui se déroulaient au pays. Et voilà, il m'a dit, il y a un plan qui a été élaboré que, en tout cas, un Tutsi congolais ou quelqu'un qui est tout proche de cette communauté-là, les Banyamulenge, les Ema et tous les autres, il y a un plan de les éliminer et c'est un plan qui a été planifié pour 60 ans à venir. Ça m'a choqué. Je lui ai dit pourquoi. Il m'a dit, écoute, parce que c'est vous, c'est eux qui posent le problème dans notre pays. Et tous les Congolais sont mobilisés à les éradiquer. Mais ma message très clair à tous les Congolais